What's going on, team? Hello, and welcome to TSJ's Sunday Sesh. I'm going to have to do that again. Hi, guys, and welcome to TSJ's Barbecue Sunday Sesh. I really have a lisp all of a sudden. So, for those people who are going to join and watch this, what we thought we'd do today, you're not cheating over there, are you, Rhett?
No, not cheating.
Beautiful.
I'll just have the break.
All right, I'll let you take the break. It's all us. It's a glamorous shot of you, mate. So, guys, hello and welcome to Sunday Sesh. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing not pool. So take that away from me.
Oops, so that.
Let's do some actual work, shall we? All right, guys. So hopefully you can see that there's a beef rib sitting in front of us. And today's session, myself, Hollywood from the Smoking Joint, and Rhett
I'm back.
is back, but he's been renamed. It was a vote that was taken, Rhett. I didn't tell you this because I like to surprise you on camera. And what's happened is a few people noted that Rhett resembles a particular character. Now, I can't say the character because it would get this page banned, but we are going to start calling him the Unicooker. Thank you, Knackers and Liam, for that suggestion. Do you know who I'm referring to?
No, I don't.
No, everyone else can. You can write it down in the bottom there. So that's the Unicooker now. That's Rhett's new nickname, Hollywood and the Unicooker. I can whisper it to you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you got it. Don't blow this up, Rhett. All right, so guys, what we're going to be doing is we're doing a beef rib cook. We're also cooking some other barbecue stuff for the kids. But today we thought, why not, after doing something like the steak, show something that might be a little bit more intimidating and might seem like a bit more difficult and make it really, really simple. Yeah, you say it. You can write it. I can't write it. It's the Unicooker. I can't do it. So, yeah, use your imagination with the long beard and looking sinister with the glasses.
I'll be on a unicycle if I have to.
Yeah, no, this guy just, yeah, absolutely. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a beef rib. I'm going to show you how we set it up, how to get it trimmed, all the Skinny Barbecue recipe that we created, and then I'm going to rub it with King of Beef, which is my favorite steak rub, obviously. And then we're going to go through the process of how to cook it, and then through the magic of time, myself and Rhett already created one, and we're going to show you how good your beef ribs can look. Okay, so Rhett, while I'm getting ready, do you have any questions potentially that we hadn't thought of before?
All right. So what's...
I'm going to squat down too because this table's really low.
Okay. So first of all, I'll ask, what has this beef rib been fed with? Is it grain or is it with grass?
So, very good question. Often people wonder about what type of ribs they should be getting. Most of your butchers will have things that have been typically grass-fed Angus and then grain-finished. Grain finishing the animal tends to allow it to have what they call striation or fat through it. And you can see even in these ones, these are our little tiny cuties from the local butchers. They've got this little line of fat through it. Let me bring it over here. So it's got little lines of marbling. Now, if you're a high-end, trendy person and you've got access to things like Scotty de Bruin's Mayura, you're going to end up with Wagyu, and that's going to have so much fat through it, it's just going to be creamy and delicious. But don't underestimate the humble old Angus cheapy beef rib. Now, this type of beef rib is called a back rib. Sorry, it's called a, what did I call it before? Short rib.
Short rib.
The short ribs are identified by these big, long, flat bones, okay? They typically come in 3 or 5 to a rack. The other ribs that come off the back end of this are called the back ribs. They've got a lot less meat on them. They've got a tiny round bone, but it's still okay to go with, and they're very, very cheap. So you can use this technique for both. Now, Rhett, if you can read any of those, you can let me know, but that's fine.
Do you want me
now,
to
ask me,
get it close?
you had a question for you. So grain
Yes.
grass. So this thing's been grass-fed, grain-finished. Yep.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take off that top fat layer. Now, a lot of times when you get beef ribs, they'll come with this second layer on them. That's the brisket, and you don't want that. It's like the navel and brisket that sits on top of it. So if you ever get these and they've got an extra layer on them, cut it off, use it for burger meats or something like that.
Yep.
And then basically you're left with what is the short rib. All right. So let me start by trimming that off while I'm crouching down. Simple action here, you just slice it through the skin, and then if your knife is sharper than mine, it should just slice straight through. Don't do that.
just
You
move
cut your
that.
arm off. Yeah, get rid of it altogether. So, all I'm doing here is I'm exposing the cover of that meat because I want that fat and silver skin gone so that the meat's all exposed.
Because you don't want that on there Otherwise, you'll be having nice leathery meat.
Now, Rhett, what do you think is easier, a beef rib or a brisket?
Oh, probably a beef rib, actually. Beef
Right.
ribs are a lot more forgiving when you cook them.
They are a lot more forgiving. One of the things that I teach people is to always go with the beef rib instead of the brisket. Having been the victim of learning to barbecue and trying to do I think $400 Wagyu for my first cook, a lot of things went into what happened. I won't repeat them, Damo, but we did wake up with a burnt, crisp piece of meat that was inedible. So I lost all my money and my dignity, and then worked out that cutting up and cooking beef ribs is far better. So now you can see I've taken the skin off that top layer of fat. That allows me to have that kind of exposed surface. I can get all that rub on there and penetrate it. If you're a bit of the sort of person who doesn't want to remove fat is flavour, it's okay. There's no religion when it comes to barbecue. Trim this little bad boy up. Now, what's the next most important thing when we're trimming up a beef rib, Brett? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
What's this bit here?
Oh, we've got to take off the silver from the
We
bone
do.
side.
So underneath the beef rib is this extremely tough membrane that we want to take off. Now, it's really tough to take off. You could spend a day just struggling along, having a little bit of a pick at it, but there is a simple technique. You take the humble spoon, and I like to use the reverse end of the spoon. I like to do things backwards, let's be honest. And then I just drag it along the bone like this until I get a little section lifted. I'll show you this guy. A little bit of a
Peels off.
ugly, horrible thing. If you just tuned in and you're seeing this for the first time, you're like, what are these boys doing? All right. So then I just slip my finger into it. That sounds worse. Once I've got that in there, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this on camera, bro. I just slide my finger under the membrane, and that whole thing just comes off in one piece. I know it's a bit gross. You can ask your butcher to do it if you're really horrified. And now we've got rid of that really tough leathery skin.
Now, it was Halloween just a couple of nights ago.
You're going to do the old faithful.
Yeah.
Clarice, I'm not going to use that line.
Yeah.
Clarice, silence of the lambs. All right, so that's that done. Now what I'm going to do is, it's all trimmed up, it's nice and pretty, and you'll notice its shape. It's nice and square. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire.
Yep.
The reason I'm doing that is for what reason, Rhett?
To help the binding with the rub.
It is the binder. You are literally top of the class right now. I love it. Rhett is going to find some fine
learning.
colours. What I would like you to do, Rhett, for me,
Yes.
is could you just rub that down, or just sprinkle the rub on it?
Yep.
And so I don't have to be touching that meat.
Okay.
And I'm just going to quickly wash my hands.
All right. Do you want me to
Tell them
put...
all about King of Beef.
Well, here we are. We're going to use the King of Beef today, which is always good for your beef ribs. So I'm just going to rub this over top. Put it on the back side as well, because it's all going to soak through the flavour. We've got a nice even spread over that. There we go. Yeah. I'm just going to... Oh, put it on, so...
Easy. All right, do that.
Do the right thing. Put the glove on.
No glove, no love.
So,
We can say anything we want on this because it's TSJ. If I did this on Skinny Mixers, I'd be fine.
man.
So far, I've made a rude joke around animal skin. We've made rude jokes around fingering meat.
There
We've
we
done.
go. So, just rub that around a bit.
You can tell Rhett didn't pay for that rub. He's pretty liberal with the old King of Beef. No, that's perfect. And the reason we do that, by the way, is this is going in for a long cook. Okay, it's going in for a few hours of smoke. The reason we smoke it for a few hours is after about 3 to 4 hours, there's nothing really that can penetrate. So there's no point smoking after that. And then we're going to use a technique which is a Texas crutch. That means we're going to smoke it for 3 hours on a rack. So if you put your hands in dirty still, you're going to plonk it on top of that.
On top of that.
You can take that from me, the rack.
Okay, yep.
He's going to put that on that rack, and that's going to go in the smoker like that. Okay? And that's going to go in here. Find a hidey hole down the bottom. Might be safe. That's our snacks. Whenever we cook, you've got to cook with some chicken wings.
Remember, you don't want the barbecue looking empty when you can just cook one thing.
You're always going to start a smoker, you've got to cook multiple things. I know Betty Wong has gone crazy. She cooks, I don't know, like 6 or 7 things at a time. Am I right, Betty? You fill that smoker up to the brim, so there's no wasted pellets.
Yes.
All right, so if you want to get rid of that thing,
All right.
take it somewhere over there, because it's gross.
Okay.
Not just that.
What's just that one?
This one and this whole board.
Take
All the things that are raw.
Done.
And that knife.
And that knife.
That's gross. Perfect.
Perfecto.
All right. So, guys, that beef rib is going to go in there and smoke for 3 hours. Once it's in there for 3 hours, we're then going to take it out, and then we're going to wrap it in foil, okay? And then we're going to put it back in the smoker. What that does is allows us to accelerate the time. If you're going to do it without wrapping or using the Texas crutch technique, you're going to be running around 9 to 10 hours per beef rib. With this technique, running at the temperature of 275 degrees Fahrenheit, which is how much in Celsius, Rhett?
It's 131, is it?
You are so close to it. It's
Oh.
135.
Oh.
That was all right. I'll take that. 131 is pretty good. So 135, we wrap it, and then in only 3 hours, we're finished and done. Now, one of the things you can do during that crutch is what, Rhett? If we want to speed up,
Want to speed up? You can put the heat up a little bit higher,
you can.
because what's the ideal internal temperature for a beef rib?
So a beef rib and a brisket run about the same. I like to do them till they're tender soft, but your target temperature is going to be somewhere between 203 degrees Fahrenheit and 208 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that is what in Celsius?
About 70?
Nah.
75? No?
No.
Up? I don't know then. Oh no, 105.
94.
94?
Yeah.
There you go. I'm learning as well.
He's getting there all the time. I love this. Now, so guys, what we did was we cooked one 6 hours ago exactly.
Do you want me to grab it?
I would love you to get it and unwrap the present so we can have a look at what this beef rib looks like that we haven't actually sighted yet.
Yeah.
All right, so get rid of all this wrapping. You can take care of those things for me.
Okay.
Get rid of all that. Take that.
Alright, I'll just remove
I'll
this.
get rid of all this stuff. Notice I've delicately wrapped it in foil. Okay, you want to take that for me, the foil away
Yep.
from me? All right, so guys, what's happened here is we've had a little bit of a transformation, okay? You can see that that meat's clawed right back on those bones. I'm going to try and get a bit of, you can see that it's dripping all over my fingers, by the way. Now that is the beef rib all the way clawed back on those short ribs, and that's how we know it's cooked. We also call it the hillbilly grin, which is really offensive to my American friends down south. I apologize for that in advance. All right, so basically that's the beef rib when it's cut.
When it's cooked, we're about to cut it. I have this effect on you.
If you heard that, you'll be laughing with me. Thanks, Ben, for putting that in my head. Ben doesn't have Instagram or Facebook, so he won't even get that joke. Now, because if you can tell Ben what he did to me, that'd be great. All right, so all I'm going to do is give this a quick slice. I'm going to see what this smoke ring looks like. Oh, it's butter soft. Like proper soft. That is delicious. Look at that thing.
Oh.
I chopped the bone too. Look, naughty me. Let's chop this bad boy as well. All right, here we go.
So you just have another one.
That is just...
Oh,
So just so you can tell from the smoke rings on these things, that's just on the pellet, a beautiful glistening smoke ring. It has got a very good pullback. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, absolutely delicious. Cooked in only 6 hours. You can accelerate that time, but I think it's only worthwhile that maybe you take one.
okay.
I take one,
All right.
and we do the all-important taste test on camera.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Oh. Tender soft. Absolutely.
That straight off the bone.
You're boneless, Rhett. Holy crap, that's good. Who wants to sit here while we just eat these for the next 5 or 10 minutes? So, quick one while I've got your attention. What I like to do is... Oh, man.
So the king of beef.
That's freaking delicious. I like to serve them with onions, either raw or pickled. I also like to serve them with... Oh, I can't. That's... And with cucumbers. Pickled. Whatever. I'm in heaven right now. That is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Look at the stuff around the... Are you kidding me? All right, so that's delicious.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We're showing that.
Yeah, so the king of beef, guys, I wrote it in the comment for the start of this, but I wanted to tell you guys in person. So my plan of attack is everyone makes this rub and loves it, but I'm forever running out of it and then forever running out of the ingredients to make it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put together the rub ready to buy in a jar or a container, and we're going to release all of those rubs that are in that Skinny Barbecue Skinny Mixer range. So I hope you're as excited as we are. We haven't worked out how we're actually doing it yet, but we've decided to do it, and it's going to be coming to you very, very soon. So look forward to that. Next week, you're not here, Rhett.
No, I'm away next week.
Where are you next week?
I'm going to go to Ballarat for a friend's 40th. Looking forward to it.
How do you have friends that are still 40, Rhett?
I'm lucky.
How old are you, Rhett?
43. So it's not too far out.
So I'm going to be here next week, and I'm thinking of doing pork ribs next week. Switch gears, do a different animal. Happy to hear your thoughts on which one I do. If you've got something pressing you want to see us cook, happy to do that as well. But if you haven't cooked beef ribs by next week, I'll be very disappointed.
Yes.
We'd
love to see you on the socials and showing all your beef ribs.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Post some cooks.
Yeah.
I saw it Cooking with Josie down in Tasmania. Josie, my dear friend in Tassie, she went and did the steak, and she did a better job than we did.
Yeah.
Which is always going to happen. Wait till you see Betty's beef ribs. They're going to be off the charts. Anyway, guys, a real pleasure for our Sunday set. You do it.
Real pleasure for the Sunday session this week.
I couldn't even do sesh. It's got to be sesh, but I just can't get it to happen. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. And a pew, pew, pew. Watch out for the Unicooker.